Hello everybody, my name is Fernando Rocha, I'm from Brazil. Today I'm going to present to you the business communication assessment regarding the use of the intranet as a tool to promote the employee interaction. Let's go for the first slide. As you can imagine, today the communication is a hard situation that every single company needs to face. Indeed, in the past, as you can imagine as well, the communication was made by traditional ways, such as mails, such as emails, and also some memos. But now, with the advance of the technology, the communication is based on social medias, intranet, and of course internet as well. Since we are discussing about the companies and corporations, of course we have to discuss about the intranet, because the internet is indeed a very powerful tool to help the organizations achieve and reach their employees. As we discussed through the presentation, also through the reports that I have submitted already, the Philips is a very good example in terms of how a big corporation could implement an intranet as a very good resource and also a strategy for their digital communication. So now we're gonna have a chance to watch a 1-minute video seeing and showing how to Philips approach the intranet as a very powerful tool. So this is a very interesting summary on how Philips approach the digital strategy in terms of implement an intranet. Actually, it's very interesting to see that Philips had a focus not only in their employees, but also their focus was in how to reach and improve the customer experience in terms of customer satisfaction as well. So, according to Mann and Bashik, the organization can have a very good opportunity to improve their communication channel through the internet. Also can make the life much more interactive and the communication much more efficient through their employees. As I have told already, if we discuss the points that we have presented and submitted in the previous assessments, through the research, I have found some key interesting points that I would like to discuss with you today. So these are the findings that I have a chance to look at it and analyze during the past two assessments. Of course, we're gonna go and discuss every single one of these. The first one will be communication. The second is performance. The third is training, and finally, the last but not least, online storage. It's very interesting to think that the communication is not only about having a chance to put something to the employee to see or look at. The communication is even more than that. So let's discuss this first finding, which is communication. The communication has at least 4 or 5 interesting points and essential as well. The first one is spreading the message. The second is making sure that the message has been reached all company levels. That's very important to say here that the communication needs to have a strategy in order to make sure that even the most senior executives and also the operators in the ground floor has received the same message. In that sense, the mission, vision, and values of the company can be spread and also propagate in an efficient way. If you look in that perspective, then the strategy, it's very important in terms of communication, because it will determine for sure the results at the end of the day for that company. And of course, one of the most important finds in terms of communication that I discussed in the previous assessments is that the company now are using like the intranet instead of the traditional ways, because of course the traditional ways, if you're looking in the past, as being like mail, as I mentioned before, I mean memos, it's kind of boring. But today all this kind of connectivity in terms of having like an online platform engage and bring for the employees the opportunity to feel more welcome and more, together in terms of the communication. The second find that I would like to discuss is performance. And we can see there that we have at least 4 main points in terms of performance. The first one is when we have the intranet in place, this tool has the power to share the information in real-time situation. The second find in terms of performance is automating the business process. The third find is impact in terms of profitability and efficiency. And of course, the fourth and the last find in terms of performance is teamwork. We have to discuss a little bit in terms of performance. Okay, look, the internet is not only a platform to give the employees a chance to interact among each others. When they have this chance to do like this real-time interaction, of course, the performance will increase. And all the business process can be automated at only one place. And of course, the final result will be also improve in terms of performance. And when you look for performance in itself, if I have a chance to put employees to work together in a team environment, there is no doubt that the performance will be better and be, more efficient in terms of the past practices when you have every single employee working by themselves. And now they have like a teamwork, a team environment where they can collect, they can share, brainstorm together. And as a result of this, they can, of course, increase their performance and see what is the best approach for the company in terms of strategy by using the intranet. Let's go for the third topic, the third finding, which is training. That's a very interesting one. If you look for the training in the past, the way that it happened, it was very, very static. What I mean by that is you have to have like a teacher or a facilitator training the employees face to face. Nowadays, with the advent of the internet and also specifically for the intranet for companies, the training is, have dropped all the barriers. I can be here now and have like online section training my employees on Asia, I can train my employees on China, on Brazil, whatever, any part of the world that I want. In that sense, the internet is, powerful tool to train the employees. Another important thing to consider in terms of training is when I have this capability to train using online resources such as the intranet, my cost, of course, it's way lower than the traditional way. And the planning to do the training, it's way less as well, because I don't need to take in consideration any kind of travel planning in terms of travel distance, travel time. I can be here now, let's say I'm in Australia now, it's about like 7 p.m. I can be training somebody in Brazil, which is about 6 a.m. or so, just as an example. Of course, the last point that I have to discuss in terms of training is the opportunity that we have by using the intranet to empower the employees, which means that as an employee, as a facilitator, I can give power to them to train another employees, and also for the ones to be has been receiving the training, participating. I mean, with different people with different background, different culture, and of course, this will empower the employees in their activities. Last but not least, we have to discuss the finding, which is called online storage. As you can imagine, in the past, can you remember, or can you, I mean, even think all the memos that the companies used to send for the employees might be like a thick of this paper like this, and most of the memos probably wasn't kept by the employees, was thrown away. Today you have this beauty through the intranet to put all the information at the same place and giving like easy access for every single employee, no matter where they are, no matter what time of the day. They can, by a click in their hand and using the computer, access all the information. And when you have this kind of capability, this feature, of course, another important point that have to be discussed, or at least have to be mentioned, is the compliance. When I have easy way to access the information, if I have any doubt in terms of how to proceed, how to go and do some activities, I can just jump in the computer, check the procedure, check the policy, and put in place. And of course, this will improve the compliance, rather than not having a chance to remember where the paper was and just leave it alone because I can't see the paper now. I do the way that I think that I should do. So, of course, by using the intranet, companies can improve their compliance activities as well. After discussing every single of these 4 points, this finding, the next slide, now you're gonna bring us the recommendation. Look, it's interesting to see how the technology has been advanced in these days, but of course, I can't get any benefit from the internet or from the intranet in terms of the company if I don't use it. So that's interesting to see that I have to put in place the intranet capabilities, but I also have to have a way to measure how the employees are using the intranet. So we have discussed in terms of communication, we have discussed in terms of performance, training, in online database storage. The beauty is that's part of the recommendation. The most benefit that you can get from the intranet is when you are using the 4 capabilities together, because you bring synergy, you bring opportunity to look in different areas, in different aspects, and also we had a chance to indeed use the most benefit from the intranet. I just wanted to go, before we finish the presentation, I just want to bring some of the numbers that Philips has achieved in terms of using intranet in an efficient way. Just a few figures. The Philips at first, they had over 123,000 pages of intranet contents. They have a chance to match it up and then condense all this page in 244 pages, and then as a result of that, all their employees are using the intranet on an average base of 1.1 hour per day, and also they spend over 19% of their time of the week using the company intranet. That's powerful, isn't it? I truly believe that's powerful, and that's why in this recommendation we are very aligned with the how Philips has approached their digital strategy, recommending that this internal communication strategy should be based on these 4 areas, tackling together. Then the benefits will be the most that can be achieved. Thank you for listening, for seeing this presentation. Hopefully this presentation has been to you an opportunity to look the intranet as a very good tool to help our company to improve their communication.